Hello there, welcome back to the channel. This is Nerd.World Films, and although the next episode in the Friday the 13th series is coming, this one is a short interlude episode, mostly in memory of the late Robbie Coltrane, who passed away relatively recently. Not wanting to do just another tribute video, I decided I'm going to talk about one of his films that was made back in the heady days of 1990, starring a young Robbie Coltrane. Young is relative, I suppose. We're talking 30 years ago. That film is Nuns on the Run. In case you've never heard of it, this is a British comedy film. Directed by Jonathan Lynn, produced by Michael White, starring Eric Idle, Robbie Coltrane, Janet Sussman, and Camille Coduri. Yes, for those that are going to draw the obvious correlation, this does have some overlapping storyline beats to the film's sister act, a much more famous nun undercover movie starring Whoopi Goldberg. This film, though, has a slightly different twist. It's not someone hiding from the gangsters disguised as a nun. It's gangsters hiding from gangsters disguised as nuns. The basic premise and overview of the movie is you've got these two individual gangsters, Charlie McManus, Coltrane, and Brian Hope, played by Idle respectively. These two men decide they're going to retire, they want to get away, they want to stop. Their boss has been killed, the new boss is probably going to try and kill them, so their plan is to rip off another criminal group and then bugger off with the money and live out a nice quiet life. Things don't go to plan and they end up having to hide out in a nunnery. There, of course, there is various hijinks. There's ridiculousness for a start. The idea that Robbie Coltrane and Eric Idle can pull off looking like a nun. They don't in any way look or sound like a woman in any way, shape or form. And there's the first suspension of disbelief you've got to get through. But this is a comedy film. Now, comedies are very subjective things. Personally, I'm not always a big fan of stupid comedy, and what I mean by that is sort of your Mr. Bean type, where someone acts like an idiot in order to generate laughs. But actors of this caliber, this quality, despite being made in the 90s where things were sometimes done a little more fast and loose, they have enough charisma and enough quality to them. They carry these roles and they make them their own, and they're not hard to watch, they're not hard to listen to. The film is a pleasing, relatively simple, not overly complicated comedy film, but does have some good performances and is generally relatively, as I say, easy to watch. It's a good hour and a half of your time that is going to be well spent, and of course it honors the legacy at the moment of Robbie Coltrane. So I would say go and give this film a watch. I'm going to try and not overly spoil it here because although it is an old film, I'm pretty certain a lot of people watching this may not have seen it unless you've been attracted to the fact that the video's title is Nuns on the Run. So, as I said, the broad story is they sort of get caught, they sort of go on the run, they hide in a nunnery, there's the police after them, there's other criminals after them, they're trying to hop away with the sort of B story of the movie, which is the the sort of side love story where they're trying to get away with their partners. It's a ridiculous, moronic, stupid film that doesn't take itself too seriously, and as a result is very enjoyable. And I am aware that the film would probably struggle to get made today, but for a 90s movie, it's an easy film to sit through, it's an easy film to watch. Robbie Coltrane, of course, is outstanding in this movie. And for all the typical, what you might call imitation films for what exist, basically when someone releases a film like Sister Act, you get clones of it, sort of ripping off the basic premise here and there. And you could make an argument that this film does the same thing, as I said, but that doesn't detract from. Every now and again you get one of these which actually turn out to be damn good. And Although again, comedy is very subjective and I wouldn't want to tell anyone what they're supposed to like. Me personally, and as I'm not a big comedy fan, this is one of the movies I can go to. If it comes on, I think I've got it on DVD somewhere. If it does happen to come on the TV though, I can sit through this, turn my mind off, have a giggle at what is a dumb, easy film. And I'm going to keep this video short because this is mostly just me wanting to do a video about Robbie Coltrane without doing a video specifically about Robbie Coltrane. So just so we have covered the obligatory part that I really wanted to get to with this film is enjoyable. It's very 90s, it's very easy to watch, it's not overly intelligent, but what it is easy, funny, enjoyable, and generally good for a laugh. It is a film that was at the height of Robbie Coltrane's sort of 90s popularity, a little bit before he started starring in a series called Cracker that started in 1993, 3 years after this film was released. Cracker was a police crime drama procedural series which he was the main star, and I believe was what I first really knew him from. I probably watched films like this when I was a child and didn't really register who he was, and I really came to know him from the series Cracker. A talented, capable comedic actor like Robbie Coltrane, easily, despite the ridiculousness of that he could possibly be a gangster, because that's hard enough to believe, Hagrid being a bank robber, come on. But not only that he could love being a nun. We thought Whoopi Goldberg was unconvincing as a nun. You ain't seen nothing yet until you have seen this. I would recommend you go and see it. You can easily find it on various different platforms, and if not, on DVD wherever you are in the world. Simple, easy, light entertainment. I am purely, as it is one of the rare comedy films I enjoy, I'm giving this a nerd score of 6 out of 6. And just to end this on, remembering this, Robbie Coltrane, 30th of March 1950 to October 14th, 2022, age 72 years old. Rest in peace. I'd just like to say a thank you to everyone for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoy making these. If you did enjoy it, please consider giving a like, share, and a subscribe, and maybe checking out the other videos on the screen right now. And in the description box below, there are links to my other social media accounts.